Hello and welcome to your yoga practice. I'm Serena and this video is to guide you through a 20-minute surfer stretch sequence. Not just for surfers though, it's for anyone who wants to stretch out the chest, shoulders, and upper back. Come to a comfortable kneeling position, put your hands on your thighs and just rub them back and forth a couple of times to bring some awareness to this kinesthetic sense of connection, of feeling into the body. And then just let your hands rest somewhere that feels natural and easy. Take a big breath in, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, and then as you exhale, roll the shoulders down and back. You can visualize all of the tension rolling off your back body here as you settle in. Now breathe in through the nose, feel your chest, your ribcage, your belly expand. Exhale to release. Now take another deep breath in, sweep your arms all the way up and overhead, seal your palms together, exhale, hands down to heart center. Go ahead and interlace your fingers, clasp your hands, and start to circle out your wrists, so drawing big circles with the knuckles. Go a couple of times in one direction, and then you can reverse directions for a couple rotations. Keep your hands clasped. Flip your palms to face towards the front of your mat. Start to press your palms forward, straighten your arms round through the spine, tuck your chin. Inhale, lift your tail, lift your gaze, palms face up, press up, seated cow pose. Exhale to round, press the back of your heart towards the back of the mat, tuck your chin. Inhale, lift your chest, pull your pinky fingers back into the space behind you. Exhale to round, pull your navel in towards your spine. Inhale, reach your palms up towards the sky, look up. And one last time, exhale, round through the back body. Inhale, keep your arms straight, reach your palms up towards the sky. This time, separate your hands, palms face forward, bend your elbows, cactus your arms. Inhale, pull your elbows back, open your chest. As you exhale, wrap one arm under the other, give yourself a big hug. Inhale to open up, draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, opposite arm underneath, hug. Inhale, open back up, spread your fingers wide. Exhale, round through the back body, hold on to opposite shoulders. One more time, inhale, open up. And exhale, opposite arm underneath. Big breath in, open back up to this cactus arm position, chest is lifted. Now neutralize your spine, reach your arms back behind you, interlace your fingers behind your low back. Keep a little bend in the elbows, draw your shoulder blades back and together. You can keep your hands clasped behind your back, but take your knuckles and have them peek out on the left side of your waist. Gently draw your elbows together, pull your shoulders back and down again. Tuck your chin to your chest and look down so the upper back is active. And then you can roll your left ear across to the left shoulder. Keep drawing your right shoulder blade down. Gently hug the elbows in towards each other. Keep your head tilted to the left, but turn to look down towards your left hip so your nose is facing more towards the floor. Feel this more in the back of your neck. And then do the opposite, turn to look more up towards the sky or towards the ceiling. Feel this more in the front of the neck. To come out, turn your gaze to face forward, bring your head back to center, and we'll set up for the other side. Go ahead and switch your hands over to the right side. Keep your fingers interlaced. Hug your elbows together, pull your shoulder blades down, tuck your chin to your chest, look down towards your knees or your belly button, and now roll your right ear across to your right shoulder. Make sure you unclench your jaw here, soften the corners of the mouth, create some space, and then turn to look down towards your right hip or your right knee. So your nose is facing more towards the floor. Take a breath here. And then we'll do the opposite. Keep your head tilted to the side. Turn to look up towards the ceiling. Take a breath here. Head back to center. Take your hands back behind you. Release your grip. Give your arms a quick shake here. And then make your way into a tabletop position. Line up shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale to find cow pose. Tip your tailbone up towards the sky. Gaze forward. Pull your chest forward. Exhale, round through the spine, tuck your chin to your chest, point your tailbone down between your knees. Inhale to arch the back, finding round-bellied cow pose here. Exhale to round through the spine, push the mat away underneath your hands. Start to find some fluidity in the hips and the shoulders as you continue to flow back and forth between these two shapes. Let your breath dictate the pace, the tempo of your movement. Use your next inhale to return to a neutral spine position, and we'll set up for a movement that will get a little deeper into the shoulders. From tabletop, turn your fingertips out to the sides, and then walk your hands apart from each other so you've got a little bit more space between the palms. Press down through your hands, turn to look towards the left, start to bend your left elbow and drop the front of your right shoulder down to the floor. As you exhale, press down through the palms, come up through center, look to the right, bend your right elbow, drop the left shoulder down to the floor. Inhale, firm the hands into the ground, come back through center, go to the left again. Exhale to press yourself up, flow to the right again. Stay with your breath as you go for a couple more repetitions, maybe starting to get the shoulder a little closer to the floor for these last few rounds. Come back to center, walk your hands back in underneath the shoulders and turn your fingertips to face forward. We're back in tabletop position. This time you can take your right hand, start to draw big sweeping circles with the right arm. Feel free to let your hips move forward and back here as we unlock the right shoulder joint. Next time right arm reaches up to the sky, hold, look up, and as you exhale, thread your right arm underneath the left. Rest the back of your right arm down on the floor, palm faces up. Keep your knees lined up underneath your hips. If you'd like to embellish, you can take your left hand, walk it up towards the top of the mat. Try to keep your arms straight, elbow lifted, so you have a window underneath your left arm that you can look through, and roll your chest open towards the left. Pull your left hip back in space. Breathe into this twist. Slowly starting to make our way out, walk your left hand back in, press down through your left palm to lift your right shoulder up, reach your right fingertips straight out to the side like an airplane wing. Now rotate your right palm to face up towards the ceiling, pinky finger faces forward. Take the back of your right hand across your lower back, slide the elbow in as close to the side as you can. Careful not to dump into the belly, so keep drawing the ribs up and in. Squeeze your right hand into a fist and then spread your fingers wide. Do that a couple times. Open your right palm back up and now slide your hand further up the back like you're reaching between your shoulder blades. Use your left hand to press yourself back to a seat on your heels. Reach your left arm up and overhead. Bend your left elbow. Reach your left fingertips down towards the right fingertips. If they overlap, you can bind. If not, reach your fingertips towards each other. Get as close as you can today. Keep your hips grounded to your heels. In fact, you can imagine the hips grow heavier as you lift up through the crown of the head. Do your best to keep your left elbow close to the side of the head so you get a beautiful stretch up your left tricep. This is really nice if you are a surfer. If your hands are bound, release your grip. Take your left hand back down to the mat, hips away from the heels. Reach your right arm out to the side, palm faces down, and then plant your right hand back on the mat as well. Other side. Take your left arm, start to draw some big sweeping circles. Your hips and your shoulders can move freely here as you open up the left shoulder. Next time left arm reaches up to the sky, we'll hold it here, turn your chest open to the left, look up. Exhale, thread left arm underneath the right. So palm stays facing up. Set your left shoulder and the left cheekbone or temple down on the floor. Think about pressing the back of the left hand down into the mat. Pull your right hip back in space. Maybe walk the right fingertips towards the front of the mat. Gaze underneath the right arm. Roll your chest open towards the left. It's almost like you're reaching your left fingertips over a little bit more to deepen this twist through the belly and the torso. your right hand back in a little closer in front of the face. Press down through the right palm, unwind the left arm, reach it out to the side, level with the shoulder. Palm turns to face up. Slide your left hand across your low back, elbow close to the side of the rib cage. Squeeze navel in towards the spine, and now clasp your hand into a fist and open the fingers wide. Do this a couple of times. Open your hand back up, and now slide your left hand further up the back, reach between your shoulder blades. Press yourself back to sit on your heels, sweep your right arm overhead, bend your right elbow, right fingertips reach down towards left fingertips. They don't have to overlap, so you might pause here and just reach the hands towards each other. If they do overlap, find your bind, pull your right elbow up, your left elbow down. Keep your hips heavy on your heels. Lengthen out through the top of the head as well, so the spine is long and neutral. Release your grip. Take your right hand, extend it up towards the sky, and then plant it at the front of your mat. Uncross the left arm from behind the low back, turn your palm to face down, and then set your left hand down, tabletop position. Notice how your knees are nicely stacked underneath the hips. We want to keep this positioning, but you can begin to crawl your hands forward towards the top of the mat. Do your best to keep your arms straight, elbows can stay lifted, melt your chest down towards the floor, and you can either drop your forehead or your chin down to the mat, depending on what feels right in your neck today. This one is called puppy pose, or sometimes called heart melting pose. So you really want to think about melting your heart down, letting it drop down below the level of the shoulders. And this one, especially if you are a surfer or you have a lot of tension in your chest and shoulders, can be quite intense. So just make sure you're breathing here. We're moving down closer to the floor, so lift your chin or your forehead, drop your elbows down, glide yourself forward, allow the front of your hips to rest on the mat. So we're just coming through this Sphinx pose, gentle back bend as a transition. Once you're there, take your right hand, walk it forward a little bit more, lift your right elbow, thread your left arm underneath the right. This time your palm will face down. Walk your right hand forward more. Think about melting your right armpit down on top of the left bicep. Draw your shoulder blades down away from your ears. On your next exhale, hang your head so you can rest your chin over your left shoulder. Maybe the forehead comes down to the mat. Check in with yourself here. If you feel like you're rolling to your left side, you've got more weight in your left hip and thigh, bring a little bit more weight into the front of your right hip, your right thigh, so the hips stay balanced. And we're getting this beautiful stretch across the left shoulder blade and a little compression into the left pec. Every inhale here, an opportunity to take inventory. Notice where you might be holding on to tension. Every exhale, an opportunity to melt down a little deeper into the mat. Release some of that tension. Start to uncross your left arm from beneath the right. Reach your left arm straight out to the side, palm faces down. Slide your right hand back underneath your right shoulder, elbow sticks up towards the ceiling. Bend your right knee, and now press your right hand into the floor as you look over towards the right and roll onto your left side. Release any craning of the neck or straining through the muscles of the neck and upper back by resting the side of your head down on the floor as you feel the front of the left shoulder open up here. If you want a little bit more, keep the side of your head relaxed on the floor, but turn your gaze up towards the sky a little bit more. Keep sending weight down through the inside of the left shoulder, left armpit area. Inhale to roll back onto your belly, setting up for the other side here. Just plant your hands down on the mat, lift your chest, scoop the elbows in, lower them down. Walk your left hand forward this time so you can pop your left elbow up off the mat, thread your right arm underneath the left, wiggle it across a little bit further and set the back of the right arm down on the floor. You can reach your left fingertips forward so you're making an X shape with the arms, Hook your chin over your right shoulder. Relax the weight of your head down. Notice once more if you're leaning more to the right. See if you can draw the left hip and thigh down towards the earth like they're growing heavier to square the shoulders and the hips, and really target this stretch in the right shoulder blade, the right upper back area. Lift your forehead. Gently lift your left elbow so you can slide your right arm out from underneath. Reach it straight across to the side. Hand level with the shoulder, palm faces down. Slide your left hand back under your left shoulder. Look to the left. Bend your left knee and press your left hand into the earth to roll onto your right side. Right away, you can set the side of your head down to the floor and relax into this shape. If you'd like, keep the side of the head relaxed down on the floor, but turn your gaze up towards the ceiling a little bit more. In this stretch especially, the inhale creates more intensity, so you'll feel more sensation. The exhale is where you get the release. So there's this gentle push and pull of sensation and relaxation that you can really enjoy as we hold a little bit longer. Start to roll back onto your belly. Both legs together, side by side. Plant your hands, lift your chest, scoop your elbows in so you're back in this Sphinx position. Take your hands in towards each other, interlace them, tuck your toes under, press back through your heels, draw your belly in, lift your hips and your belly. Just transitioning through forearm plank, walk your toes in a couple steps, drop the knees down, unclasp your hands, and now melt your hips back to your heels, forehead down to the floor. Balasana, this is child's pose. Begin to crawl your hands over towards the right side of your mat. Drop your head back down to hang between the arms. Press down through your right hand to keep your hips grounded to your heels. Place your left hand on top of your right. Reach your left fingertips forward a little bit more as you pull your left hip back and feel this beautiful stretch down the left side body. Start to walk your hands back towards the top of the mat. Take them all the way over towards the left side. This time use your left hand to ground. So as you press your left hand down, pull your right hip back and down towards the right heel. Stack right hand on top of left and really reach out for your right fingertips, elongating the right side body. Once more, we'll crawl the hands back to the top of the mat. Begin to walk your hands in towards your knees as you peel your chest away from your thighs. Walk your hands up your thighs, align your shoulders over your hips, gaze forward, neutral spine. Reconnect with the breath here. Deep breaths in through the nose, deep breaths out through the mouth. And on our next inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Interlace your hands, take your hands behind your head. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, allow the elbows to droop forward and down. On your next inhale, turn towards the left. Pull your left elbow down behind you, lift your right elbow up, and then exhale, chin to chest, both elbows forward. Inhale, turning to the right, draw your right elbow down, left elbow up. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, elbows forward. Back and forth. So inhaling to open, exhaling to round, allowing the head to loll side to side, gently stretching into the neck. Next, exhale, chin to chest, elbows forward. This time as you inhale, look forward. Take your hands away from behind your head. Keep your fingers interlaced, press up through the palms. Exhale, relax your arms down by your sides. Amazing work. Let's start to get ready for our final Savasana. So you can bring yourself to a seat, and from there roll down onto your back. Generally, it feels nice for the low back to pull the knees into the chest as we make our way to a reclined position. And as you hug the knees in, give yourself a little rock side to side, massaging across the lower back area, continuing to breathe deeply. When you're ready, you can extend your legs, relax your arms down on the mat beside you. Find softness through the body, close your eyes down, and welcome yourself to your final Savasana. I recommend spending a couple of minutes here today. The more time you have, the better. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Namaste.